Hello everyone, welcome to another one of these movie reviews that I do occasionally. Today we're looking at Elevator,
the movie with the ingenious tagline, "Take the stairs."
If you don't know, it is essentially the same premise as Devil, that movie that was produced by M. Night Shyamalan. I guess I'll just talk about Devil for a second because I don't think I'll ever talk about it again. Devil's a movie. 6 people are in an elevator. You don't know which one's the devil, except they don't really establish that well. Like the whole time they're trying to drive home the tension of who is the devil, but also at the same time they're trying to build tension around, does the devil even exist? Like, does the movie even have a supernatural element to it? Which are two really weird sources of tension to have in the same movie. So it just feels like the whole reveal of, oh, the grandma is the devil, it just feels cheap and unearned. And all the characters are unlikable. And it doesn't come off as like, oh, this is a movie about characters who happen to be unlikable. It just felt like, yeah, these are just despicable characters. Like, I don't like any of them. Even the ones they try to redeem. And we have to talk about the whole jelly side down fiasco, where the superstitious character in the movie says, when the devil is around, toast will always fall jelly side down. I kind of get the point of it. Little things go wrong. Everything goes wrong when the devil is around. Weird way to demonstrate that. It's a dumb movie. And I can't believe I haven't even gotten to the movie I actually wanted to talk about today. It's basically the same premise. A group of people are trapped in an elevator, but there's no supernatural element this time. This time there is just someone has a bomb. I feel like this movie is better than Devil, but Devil is probably the more interesting one to talk about, which is great because I'm making a video about this movie and not Devil. We see someone building a bomb. So immediately, unlike Devil, we immediately know what the tension is. I need to stop. I won't make any more comparisons to Devil. I'll try not to. They're all going to a fancy dinner party. I do want to point out though, there's a very nice one-take shot where they all enter the elevator.
This shot lasts for an unbroken 5 minutes, which is really impressive. Also, since I forgot to mention it while I was recording, all the actors in this movie are pretty good. I mean, I have problems with their lines and their characters, but as far as what they were given, they did a good job with it, so props to them.
I mean, it's really unnecessary, it's very showy, but hey, you know, good shot's a good shot. From what I remember from Devil, very similar characters. You have the kind of jokester, asshole type. You have all the character archetypes you would expect. The old lady, of course. The little girl, which wasn't in Devil, but still, it's kind of a trope. And the little girl is actually the one who causes this, because the asshole guy, the comedian, he's a comedian. I'm doing a terrible job at this review. He's claustrophobic, they establish.
What's wrong with him?
He's claustrophobic. He doesn't like small spaces.
He's really not. He doesn't bring it up at all for the rest of the movie. It's not like a constant thing. It's really just for this scene, and I guess to just spite him, and because kids are mean, I guess, she decides to stop the elevator. I hate how movies write kids where they just write them to do whatever. Oh, they're kids, so like, you know, of course she's like mean. She's like a naughty kid. Even the naughtiest child would not stop an elevator just because someone is anxious about being in a small space. Yeah, she just does it for no reason. I was rewatching it to see if maybe I missed, like, oh, maybe the guy was rude to the girl, so she thought it was as some kind of revenge. No, that doesn't happen. She just does it to be a dick, which actually just goes to show how easy it is to fix this problem. Like, oh, the kid did it in anger. I could accept that. It's still a little contrived, but At least then it would make some sense why the girl would just be a huge asshole to this guy and herself. She's stopping the elevator with her in it. So many movies just treat kids as, oh, well, we'll just have them do whatever the script needs to. Kids are mean and dumb, but that doesn't mean you can just have them do any mean or dumb thing you want them to. Kids are mean and dumb in a very particular way. They have their own internal logic to them. When kids do something dumb, they're not just, I'm gonna do this dumb thing for reasons. So the elevator is stopped now. They call for help. Characters start bickering, which is a lot of this movie. We see the old woman's husband died. This is the weakest part of the movie. A full 15 minutes of nothing happening. The pregnant woman, because of course there's a pregnant woman. Again, all the archetypes for, you know, I don't want this person to die. She has to pee really badly, and they have a scene, I can't believe this happened in the movie. They have a scene where she goes to the bathroom and I think it's her purse. Why is this scene in the movie? The only thing I can think of is that it's trying to show the desperation of these people, that they've come so low now that, you know, they're pissing next to each other. So it's like, oh, this is pathetic. This is sad, I guess. But there's nothing else like this in the movie. There's nothing else in the movie showing to show how low they've come. So it's really weird. This scene in the movie just sticks out like a sore thumb. Like a lot. Like, I gotta piss quick to before the bomb goes off. This is so fucking stupid. After the pissing scene, I am moving past it. The old woman reveals she has a bomb.
I just wanted to deliver a message. I didn't know that the elevator was going to be stuck.
What was the message?
Her husband committed suicide after she was screwed over by the guy who owns the building, who's also in the elevator with them. That's, you know, pretty awkward. I hate when that happens too. And she's also telling them because she's at the moment having a heart attack. I probably should have mentioned that first. Oh, one of the characters is a news reporter, by the way. I just want to mention that because it's going to get really fucking stupid in a minute. The news reporter lady calls her news station and records a video inside the elevator to, I guess, show them what's going on. Like, what? Would they not believe you? Oh, I'm stuck in an elevator. No, you're lying. And it just shows everyone yelling at each other, so I don't know what this proves. This footage gets around and it's headline news, apparently. They also hear that there's a bomb, so now everyone knows there's a bomb in the elevator. Police are sending in the SWAT team. They're taking a while. But don't worry, this is not the stupid part. This is actually not the stupid part. Because I could at least accept, okay, she sends out the footage, and it being headline news is a little stupid, but I can at least accept it as if this was a good movie, I'd be like, that's just a stupid part in a good movie. There is doubt at first if the lady was telling the truth, which is a human reaction, but like, why would she lie? She's fucking dying. She's not gonna witness the epic prank she pulled. And there's this whole tense scene of her trying to see where the bomb is. And it's played for a really long time. And at first it kind of works, but then it's like, okay, we get it. She's gonna find it, you know. There wouldn't be a movie if she doesn't find a bomb, so we know what's gonna happen. And then it takes 45 minutes to get to the point that I wanted to see. I watched this movie because I love bottle movies, and I love movies where people are stuck in a location and gotta figure a way out. Yeah, I've already talked about how much I love Cube. I can't escape Vincenzo Natali. I guess Cube is the best example. The original Saw. Bottle movies where people gotta figure a way out. They're great. I mean, often they're not great. Often they just use the shortcoming as like a crutch. but still, they're fun, and I like them. They're even the bad ones are guilty pleasures for me. The main guy realizes that the pregnant woman, that baby's his, and even though he brought his wife there, it's really awkward for his actual wife. And there's lots of character drama.
And there's this really stupid fucking part that I forgot to mention, where the bomb manufacturer watches the news report, and we see the news reporter lady is reporting on the incident she is currently in. She is broadcasting from her phone to the news station, and it's so fucking... I don't even know how I forgot to mention this. This is...
So the cheater reaches through the sliver in the elevator. He's using the old lady's cane that she had to try and hit a button. So maybe if we hit a button using the cane, it'll go to that floor and actually work. While he does that, the little girl, for no reason, just does something stupid and hits a bunch of the buttons on the elevator. And predictably, he's got his arm through the door and the sliver, and the elevator falls. And his arm is ripped clean off. Again, kids are stupid. They are not that stupid. It's not even like perilous. Like, oh no, he's gonna die or something. Maybe the kid would be like, oh, I gotta do something. He's doing fine. He's like, okay, just give me a second, I'm gonna hit the button. They only knew there's been a bomb since about 45 minutes into the movie. And now we're an hour and 5 minutes into the movie. So that's been 20 minutes, and we're already at the point where it's like, oh, they're resigned to their fate, essentially. Then the comedian gets an idea to cut the bomb off of the lady, and then they do this weird thing where it's like a comedy segment where the owner of the building's like, you fucking pussies, I'm gonna fucking cut it myself. I did this in Nam.
I'll cut the bitch. Where's the knife?
Here you go.
Like, you just... At first I was kind of like, oh, this is an interesting portrayal, because, you know, usually when a movie is, or something is critical of you know, businesses and CEOs, it's like they paint them as like cartoon villains. But the real insidious thing about them is that a lot of times they seem like nice guys. And that's what I kind of like about him. Like, oh, he's a friendly old man. But then it's revealed that he, you know, fucks people over, and the pregnant woman faints, which I actually like. I like, in horror movies and thriller movies, people don't like faint or throw up. But again, it just makes, wouldn't it make more sense for her to throw up? She's pregnant. The earlier scene was her pissing, right? Do you remember the piss scene? We all remember the piss scene. And that was to show like, oh, this is gross. This is, you know, look at how low they've come. They're removed from proper society. But then, when you have a chance to actually echo that or make that not the only scene like it in the movie by having her throw up, which is also gross, and it would, then I'd be like, oh, okay, that's what they were going for. That was an intentional choice. But they have her faint. It just makes the piss scene even fucking weirder. Repetition legitimizes. If you have a weird scene in your movie, at least throw in a second weird scene so we know this wasn't an accident and it wasn't just some weird thing that happened that we're just moving past now. Why not have her throw up? It makes so much movie sense. Bro, they're not fucking answering you. What the fuck? Sorry, that's a nitpick, but what the fuck? And then the SWAT team suddenly arrive. Yes, it just comes out of nowhere. Everyone gets out except for the overweight man.
He's too big, I can't fit. Nothing through there.
Why the fuck would you have two lines of dialogue conveying the exact same piece of information.
He's too big, I can't fit.
Sorry for another nitpick, but Jesus.
I mentioned earlier movies like Cube and other movies like that, people stuck in a room, etc. When they get out, it's usually because of something they did. In this movie, they just wait to be rescued. There's nothing clever about it, it's just wait, and then eventually the SWAT team shows up, and then they bring them out. And I can hear you saying, well, maybe it's an intentional subversion. It's not trying to be cinematic, it's trying to be realistic. Sometimes people just die and it's not set up or paid off or anything. And also in real life, if this situation were to happen, you probably wouldn't think of a clever way out of the elevator. You probably would just get saved or not by the SWAT team. My problem with that is the rest of the movie wasn't fucking realistic, so if that's what they were going for, it doesn't really connect with me. So what did I think of Elevator?
Take the stairs.
It was enjoyable while I was watching it. I talk all this shit, but this is after the fact. I hadn't watched a movie in a while. I had just been lazy and kind of depressed, and I needed this movie. I needed some trash to get me back into the spirit of things. And, you know, I think I went a little hard on this movie. It's really not that bad. It's just a kind of boring flavor of bad. And I don't think I'll probably remember this one. This one won't stick in the memory. But I have a respect for movies like these. Even though I don't like it, and I probably won't watch it again or really remember it, I do enjoy it because it's clear that there is intent here. This was someone's vision. Someone said, I want to make a movie and this is what I want it to be like. And from what I can tell, I think he did a pretty good job. I mean, I can't guess author intent, obviously, but from what I can assume, which at the end of the day is an assumption, please keep that in mind, it seemed like this was pretty true to the author's vision. I don't like this movie, but this is the kind of bad movie that I want to see more of, where there's clearly a passion involved. There's clearly some talent. I mean, that one take shot was pretty impressive. I don't want this video to be, this movie is bad and you should hate it. It's that this movie didn't click with me. I didn't enjoy it. At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
And don't forget, the movies I mentioned before, Cube and the original Saw, and movies I genuinely love like nothing, they all have flaws. But I'm willing to overlook that because I think those are great movies. So it's completely possible for someone to watch this movie and really enjoy it and overlook all the stuff I was talking about. So, yeah. Stairs.
So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this weird little review of a movie that I thought would be interesting. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I guess if I was to say one last thing about Elevator, it would be that it had ups and downs.